They're home. 4 Americans, 3 men and 1 woman just returned safely to Earth after pushing farther into space than any human beings in history. Let that sit for a second. Not just farther than any Americans, farther than anyone ever. And yet if you scroll your feed today, you'd think this was just another headline. It's not. It's a reminder. A reminder of who we are. A reminder of what this country does when it decides to do something bold, something dangerous, something no one else has ever done. And maybe most importantly, it's a reminder of something we don't talk about enough anymore. American greatness. Because what just happened wasn't inevitable. It wasn't global. It wasn't some vague shared accomplishment that just appeared out of thin air. It happened because of the United States of America. 4 Americans strapped themselves into a machine built by American engineers, launched from American soil, funded by American innovation, backed by American resolve, and they went further than any human beings have ever gone. And then they came home, safely. That doesn't happen by accident. It happens because this country still produces the kind of people willing to risk everything to push the boundaries of what's possible. It happens because we still believe deep down that the horizon is not something to fear. It's something to chase. Now think about the moment they shared up there. Easter, not on Earth, not in a church pew, not surrounded by family or tradition as we know it, but in space, orbiting far beyond where any human being has gone before. And still, they celebrated. Because some things don't change when you leave Earth. Some things become clearer. The message of Easter, that death is not the end, that darkness does not win, that there is always the promise of return, of resurrection, of home. That message hits a little differently when you are staring into the vastness of space, when you are farther from home than any other human has ever been, and yet still connected to it, still anchored by it, still believing. That's not just technology, that's faith. And speaking of perspective, let's zoom out for a second. It's easy to forget how far we've come. Just over a century ago, human beings weren't even flying commercially. Then came the Wright brothers. Then came the race to the moon. Then came Neil Armstrong stepping onto the lunar surface and saying those words that still echo throughout history.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
And now, we're sending Americans farther into space than ever before and bringing them back safely, consistently, confidently. There is no other country on Earth that does this like we do. None. Not with this level of ambition, not with this level of execution, not with this level of consistency. And before someone jumps in with the usual line, this isn't just an American achievement, it's a human one. Let's be clear about something. Progress doesn't happen in the abstract. It happens through people, yes, but through people shaped by a nation, supported by a system, and unleashed by a culture that either encourages greatness or stifles it. Even one of the astronauts said before the launch that this wasn't about identity politics. It wasn't about reducing the moment to race or checking boxes. And that's exactly right. Because what unites it is we say it, but because we prove it over and over again in moments like this. Moments where the rest of the world watches and we lead. Moments where the impossible becomes possible, and it happens here. Moments where 4 human beings can leave this planet, travel farther than anyone has ever been, celebrate the resurrection of Christ in the darkness of space, and then come home safely to tell their story. That's not normal. That's exceptional. That's American. Maybe the most powerful part of all this is the return. Because going out there is one thing, coming home is another. Coming home requires precision, discipline, trust, faith in your team, faith in your mission, faith that the people who built the system got it right. And maybe, just maybe, faith in something bigger than all of it. Because when you are re-entering Earth's atmosphere at thousands of miles per hour, when everything is on the line, when there is no margin for error, you understand something. You are not in control of everything. And yet, somehow, you carried through, safely, back home. There's a lesson in that, for them and for us. That no matter how far we go, no matter how advanced we become, no matter how much we build and innovate and achieve, we are still grounded by something deeper, something eternal. And today, as those 4 Americans are back on Earth, reunited with their families, stepping out of their capsule into fresh air, we should celebrate. Not just the mission, but what it represents. Courage, ingenuity, faith, and yes, American greatness. Because the truth is simple. The world didn't do this. America did. And the next time someone tells you that we're just like everyone else, that our best days are behind us, that greatness is something to be embarrassed about, just remember this moment. 4 Americans, farther than anyone has ever gone, celebrating Easter in the heavens and coming home safely. That's who we are, and we're not done yet.